We're here. The gang's all here. We're here after Phoenix. I hated it. I don't know if I was ever as angry as I was watching a race yesterday. I was really annoyed.
Do tell, Mike.
That track is so bad. It's embarrassing that we won a race championship. That's the place we end the season at. Last year, I think we got lucky with a little bit of a solid race there in the fall. The new package, I guess, made the first bit interesting when you had competitive cars towards the front and they were kind of even and going back and forth. But then it seemed like when you got the guys out of position up to the front, it just became a complete and utter, log jam other than Christopher Bell moving from 20th to first. Nobody else was able to move. I don't know if this is going to work. Okay, yeah. So I only can have 6 on the screen. So Wessel is here. He'll say hi at some point. We'll get his opinion at some point. I can't put him on right now. I could. Like this. Oh. Whoops.
Check me out. I got something to do real quick. So.
Okay. You're out for a little
bit?
If
he's on break. Yeah, because there's something going on and I got to take care of it.
Hey, that worked out good, Wessel.
How we doing?
Hey, welcome to the pod. First time this year, Wessel.
I can't set my phone up. This isn't working.
All right. That's great.
How we doing, boys?
Oh, we're doing. It's your first time on in season 3. How you feeling?
Tired of working closing shifts on Mondays.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You are right now, but you're here anyway. Let's start with you. Give me your thoughts on Phoenix.
Can we talk about your hair for a minute? What is going on, pal?
My hair, dude. It just it's getting a little long. First of all, it's longer than it should be. It doesn't look
Bro
that
didn't even
bad,
attempt to comb it, man. He just said, "Fuck."
No, I did. It just it didn't work. I didn't put any stuff in it because I'm not going anywhere. I have a hat on standby if needed. I always do. Yeah, I have a hat right here on standby. Look, it can go on right now. Wessel for shit talking me. There you go.
Hey, I figured it out.
Thanks a lot.
I got my phone propped up on a.
Thanks a lot.
Puncher.
Now we need to see David's date.
That didn't work.
This stinks.
It's not a podcast with David on without David having a big bake going on.
Oh my god.
This blows, dude. What are you doing?
Look, I don't have my laptop, dude. Chill out.
Go take a phone stand off of one of the shelves or something.
Yeah, right.
We don't sell phone stands. This isn't that type of program.
Okay, they don't. All right, tell me your thoughts on Phoenix. Christopher Bell, big win. You like him?
Yeah, I like Christopher Bell. I thought it was a pretty dominant win for him. Clearly had the fastest car in the field. He was really the only one that was able to pass anybody. But other than that, it was a big stinker. Big stinker.
Yeah, was not great.
No, I mean that's par for the last 12, 15 Phoenix races. So
I'd say even more than that, honestly. Yeah. Like that track.
I don't think Phoenix has ever put on a good race.
And there's been here and there. They've had a couple. It's really just because of like drama that it's been a good race. Like Clint Boyer running after Jeff Gordon, or it being the last race before the final cutoff, and there being points battles there for a few years. That made it semi-interesting. 2014, 2017 was interesting with Chase getting his payback on Denny and Kenseth getting his last win. That was a fun one, but I don't know. It's tough. The new layout, I don't know how it's much different. I just don't think it flows as well to me. The restarts are a little just wacky. I know they might be exciting to some, but I don't really care to see 6 wide just for the sake of it and cars using every inch of the track. I kind of like when guys are, confined to a certain area, and that makes it a little harder to drive. So just not a favorite track for me. And it was frustrating just to watch, specifically guys like William Byron, Chase, Reddick, Hamlin, who had really good cars all for the first probably 60, 70% of the race, but once they got the strategy flipped, they couldn't go anywhere. Maybe it shows that they didn't actually have the good cars and everybody was kind of even, but it just track position was so important, you know. Kevron, your thoughts?
Well, to kind of add to the very end of that point you were making about how everybody was just pretty much even out, there was a point where for several laps straight, the guy in 30th was on the same pit strategy as the leader, and only 2.5 to 3/10 a lap separated in between those two cars. So you can imagine the 28 other drivers in between that, pack right there, just trying to duke out what they can. But being as even as these cars are at a racetrack like Phoenix, you just can't produce good racing like that, especially with the low horsepower they have.
I think that's a big thing because with more horsepower, it would increase off throttle time, and it would also give an opportunity for, I would say, more mistakes. And I feel like we and a lot of people in the community are beating a dead horse with this one, because NASCAR, for whatever reason, just does not have any interest in changing this. So it's frustrating for sure, but what are you going to do? I mean, they seem unwilling to change the horsepower for whatever reason.
They're too scared for these cars to flip, and I mean, you've seen these super speedways with them flipping depending on the contact made. But like to your point, they're not going to change nothing.
No.
One of the
Ryan, your
things
thought.
that
Go ahead, Wessel.
sorry, one of the things about like the flipping though is that I don't necessarily think it's that they're trying to stop the flipping, because I've heard numerous drivers, including Dale Jr., say that the safest feeling like when you're flipping in a car, you don't really feel like you're in danger. Like I don't know if it was him or somebody else, the way that they explained it, just like, oh, you can see grass here and then grass here and then it doesn't really because the way the G-forces work when your car is spinning like that is you're just nothing's really happening to you.
Right. Yeah. And to me, I feel like a lot of bad accidents aren't usually flip related, where there's guys that get injured.
Look bad, but they're not. I think the hits we see Ryan Blaney take the first 2 weeks of the year, or not
much
first
worse
2 weeks,
than,
but literally just during Daytona weeks was really bad. Those are the
much
bad
worse.
hits.
Yeah.
Then
flips.
And then Kurt Busch gets backed into the fence when he spun at Pocono, and that took him out for his entire career.
And his career. Yeah.
God.
It's crazy. Ryan, your thoughts?
I mean, besides Bell dominating and then the strategy flipping, it really wasn't that good of a race. I hope that in some time in the future, Phoenix is no longer the championship race, because it just doesn't produce much excitement anymore. And NASCAR, I think, really shit the bed there, making that the championship race.
Yeah.
Bring it back to Homestead where it belongs.
Especially considering how good Homestead has been with this car.
Yeah.
I think it's got to rotate, because if we're going to do a one-race championship in a sport where drivers can have certain abilities at certain tracks, I feel like you kind of got to cycle it around. I'd say maybe see a Homestead, Kansas, even a Darlington. I think would be a cool championship race. I know they don't want to move the Southern 500 off of Labor Day, but I would like that. A track like Chicago, if they bring that back to the Cup Series, would be a good spot for it. You've got maybe bring it to a short track one year, maybe have the championship in Martinsville in a year. Bristol, you can move it around, I think, and I think that's the best way to do it. So it's not a guy let's say at Phoenix, seems like Penske has had a domain over that the last 2 years while not having the strongest driver all season. Not really even close. Blaney was good the last couple of weeks, but Joey kind of came out of nowhere to win that one.
Yeah. Oh, I called Joey for a 2-month stretch there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's you. Okay. That's you.
I think the problem too is that I think NASCAR dumped too many eggs in one basket. They poured so much money into Phoenix with the fan experience, with remodeling the track, remodeling the grandstands, rebuilding or tearing down the ones that were on the old front stretch and rebuilding new ones. And then it's just they've dumped so much money in there that it's kind of hard that they want that to be the finale.
Yeah, not a great situation. I think there are rumors. They said on the teardown last night with Gluck and Bianchi that it's looking to be moved off of the championship race for 2025. As I said, I think the solution is a rotating championship race track. To me, that's the most fair thing to do, with there being only one race. Because Homestead, while we did get a variation of winners, you can't guarantee that. I mean, Tyler Reddick won 2 championships in the Xfinity Series because he was good at Homestead. So, not discrediting Tyler Reddick in any way. One year, it was kind of odd that he won it, but definitely the first year. The second one, it made more sense when he was with RCR and had the good year. But his year at JRM kind of was in obscurity all year and kind of snuck into the Final Four, and then he's the champion. You don't really expect it. I don't remember who the other 3 were that year, but I didn't really have him pegged to be the champion. Sally, your thoughts?
Compared to what we went in for practice, like after practice, what the drivers were saying, I think the race was a little bit better than what I had anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, yeah, it was hard to pass and everything, but clearly Christopher Bell found a way for it to work. Blaney, in my opinion, was another one who would kind of have his thrive on a really long run, go up there. Gragston, I feel like, was kind of all over the board.
I mean, he was just ripping it up at the top on the race. Like, crazy. It was insane.
But I do understand, like, where some of the frustration comes in. I mean, us being Chase fans, we're running top 5 all day, and then all of a sudden, here we are trying to battle whoever the hell was in 20th with us.
Yeah, Bowman and Ricky Stenhouse. Yeah, it was. And William Byron was, I think, better than us at that point in the race. Like, once we got cycled back into the field, he couldn't get by Stenhouse for 40 laps.
No.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching Chase's in-car camera, and William Byron was struggling to get by. Jeez Louise.
God bless you, buddy.
Holy shit. I guess it's time for your segment then. Say something, Sal. What do you got, Sal?
I was just going to say, I just can't wait for 2025 to have another place. I mean, it's bad when internet sensation Icy Bert is saying this is a bad track.
And really quickly, Sal, before we get to you, Matt, your man, Daniel Suarez, finished ahead of all hindered drivers. How about that?
Suarez to the 48.
Wow.
The Mexicans want it. We all want it.
Jeez Louise. That's not going to make the president very happy.
No.
I was just gonna say Sally's been exiled from the CFRL.
Yeah, Sal's been banned.
He's a war criminal.
2024 Cup playoffs. Sal's violating on his ban. All right, Maddie, hit us here.
All right. 2 dudes. My first dude's going to be Christopher Bell. I think hands down, he was the best car. It was unfortunate not to see Denny kind of take himself out, because I feel like he could have given Bell at least a run for his money. Blaney was able to give him a little bit of a run as far as catching up to the pack, but even on restarts, him and Chase, I feel like, were the most 2 timid people out there. And then my second dude, I'm going to give to Ty Gibbs. He's been strong all year, and right now I'm pretty sure he's 5th in the points. Could be a breakout. It could be a breakout year for him. I feel like him, Denny Hamlin, and Christopher Bell will be your 3 best there, and I honestly think Ty Gibbs has a very good shot of winning this weekend in Bristol. So my 2 dudes are going to be Ty Gibbs and Christopher Bell.
I like that. Yep. Those are good dudes. Ty Gibbs led a bunch of laps early on, and I think we all agreed heading into the season that he is, in for a breakout, I'd say. And he definitely showed signs of it today. I mean, he ran through the field on 2 tires. It seems like Toyota had I'm not sure. This is very speculative, but whatever Toyota did with their car. Yeah, that's right. Whatever Toyota did with their car, this is, as I said, speculative. Seems like it is less affected by dirty air, maybe. because those were the guys that
I
passed.
don't know.
You know, can you name a Toyota car that a non-Toyota car that passed on that last run? Blaney, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say there was that whole when there was that caution that came out and really flip flopped the field. Like you didn't see any. Like I would say Blaney and Bell were literally your only two because there was a segment there where right after it, in like that 18th to 21st range, was Blaney, Larson, Elliott, and Byron. And Blaney was the only one who really took off and was able to make it. I think he finished sixth. I think, or he finished fifth.
And
by Chastain at the line. But yeah,
this could add to that. This could add to that point. Ford's got a new body also.
Yeah,
But
you know,
the only manufacturer to lead laps besides Toyota was Todd Gilliland with only 14 laps. The rest was all from Joe Gibbs Racing and the 45 Tyler Reddick.
Yeah, 298.
I think the
312. And Todd Gilliland was just a cycle lap sled, like it was not on speed.
Yeah,
so
no,
it was
I think the Fords were decent-ish, but you just didn't have. It's definitely that type of racing, at least for that type of package, is definitely seems like it's going to suit Toyota the best. Because outside of Blaney, like you had RFK. Busher came along there towards the last stage, but Keselowski was pretty solid all day long, along with Blaney. But I mean, outside of those three, like Logano could be in some serious trouble here. And I know at like I know in the beginning of the season, everybody's like when there's the back-to-back with Daytona and Atlanta, everyone's like, oh, it's two super speedways. Like the real race starts the third race of the season. But here you can see what happens when you don't finish well at either of the two at either of those two first races. Like he's, I think, in like 30th in points and already like 60 something points back to where he's in win or go home mode most likely.
Not yet. I would
say not yet,
but I'll try to come back.
All right. See you in a bit, Wessel.
Yeah, I do feel. I wouldn't say as of
let's get a
this
Tegan Jones update right here. Hold on.
Yeah.
Ready?
Let's say, can you move me into the back room or something?
Yeah.
In true Tegan fashion.
All right, that was pretty good.
But no, I do feel like Joey's gonna have to win a race to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Just because
I wouldn't say that yet.
Just because he's
early.
so far. It is too early to declare it that.
Can make up 60 points on anybody in the field in 20 races, I think.
I'm also of the belief that there's going to be more than 16 winners. So that's just my opinion.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Big opinion.
I don't know, Jim.
I don't know, Jim.
Because I still think you can. Because what have we had? We've had 3 so far, right? We've had Byron, Larson,
Suarez, and Bell.
And then I think you can make a case that Ty Gibbs and Denny Hamlin are going to win. So there's 6.
Right.
Logano, Blaney, that's 8.
Okay.
The other 3 for Hendrick, that's 11. Maybe not Bowman, so that'd be 10.
Yeah.
Just say if you want to count him out. If you want to count him out, that's 10.
I actually am not talking about him.
Chase, you don't think?
Down in the dumps, honestly.
Yeah. So either way, so there's 10. I think Reddick and Bubba are going to win a race. That's 12. I think you can see.
I got a hot take. All right, about that. Sorry to interrupt, Matt.
Yeah.
Right now, with what we've seen so far and seeing how the Toyotas performed this week, I think that Reddick and Bubba are more likely to get wins to make the playoffs than Chase and Bowman right now.
Yeah, I mean Toyotas have been strong. So
Would you even stretch it to where both front row racing guys of Michael McDowell and Todd Gilliland will have an edge over?
No, I won't go that far because McDowell, I mean maybe, but Gilliland he only led because he's only led laps at the speedway tracks and then led because of a pit cycle. So
but then if you keep
I don't really see
see
anything from Gilliland yet, but
I was going to say if you keep it at that's 12, and then you think Kyle Busch is going to win, that's 13. If you have Buescher and Keselowski, that would be 15, and then Ross would be 16. So I mean, it's not too.
Do you think all those guys win to get in?
I think that if anything, my one doubt would probably be RFK with Brad, but I think there's a legitimate chance that you could have 2 more Hendrick guys. You could have Blaney and Logano. I think a lot of those guys are big name guys to where you think it would be crazy if they didn't win a race.
If Chase
So-
wants to win a race, he needs to figure out how to do restarts.
Yeah, like I said, him and Blaney were, I feel like, the most two timid people out there. Blaney just had, I guess, a better car than Chase to where he could drive up and catch the field when that whole thing flip flopped.
It just, I don't know if it feels this way to you, Sal, but watching his restarts were infuriating in that second half of the race.
I was really excited seeing him on the start, and then on the first restart, I was like, okay,
Well, he went
someone
3 wide
finally
outside.
told this dude what to do, how aggressive you need to be. Everything after that was embarrassing.
Legitimately terrible.
Yeah.
He was losing, because he restarted one time 4th, and then it was 6th, and then it was 10th. And then you have the caution where he pits for 4, and now he's 20th. And it's like, oh, that's great.
I think the
He
last
was like
one.
16th.
I think the
then
last
fell
one
back to 20th.
before they pitted on that last stop. I just watched him back out of like 4 wide. I'm like, why?
You can't. You're not going to pass with this car in a green flag run. So backing out is basically ceding 3 spots.
Yeah.
So you can't do I understand he's a guy that give and take. That's not there anymore. If you give Ross Chastain the spot, when you get back to him and you might be faster, he's not going to let you have it.
No.
He's going to defend. And, power to him because it's a race. Give and take, respecting the series, that's fine. But to me, you've got to be aggressive on restarts. That's clearly where you can make the most time up. Unless you have a car that's considerably faster than the field like Christopher Bell did. Because he was moving through the field all race no matter where he was. The thing that was telling to me is some people thought the tire was positive compared to where it was. I would argue the complete opposite. I think the tire was awful. I think that NASCAR needs to figure out the tire. I don't understand why we went to a higher grip, like a wider tire, so they had more grip. That makes no sense. You want the cars to be more on edge. Give them less grip. The tire was fine how it was. We had no problems with tires. And now tires are an issue. There's no wear. You have a guy like Martin Truex who got clean air and went out to a 5-second lead with older tires than people coming behind him. If he didn't have to pit, Christopher Bell probably wouldn't have caught him.
Would it have been better or worse to have a compound put on the higher lanes of Phoenix? Does it make a
I don't
difference?
think so.
I'm not a fan of traction compounds.
I'm not either.
If the track sucks, it sucks. You have to, I don't think.
It wasn't traction what is it? Resin? It was
Resin
was the other one, right? I thought Resin was a bit better than them just throwing the traction compound out there. I know they used it for one Phoenix race like a year or 2 ago, and I thought the racing there wasn't the best, but it was definitely an improvement to what we were getting.
I'm glad NASCAR's kind of gone away from it, though.
Yeah.
It seems like they have, and maybe it doesn't react with the next-gen car well, With the wider tire, more grip. If you get on a grippy substance, that's more tire gripping it, So to me, that might make it a considerable advantage. There's one track I understand that, and it's Bristol. I'm fine with it being on the inside line at Bristol to make that a thing. And it gives an interesting dynamic, which we'll see next week, of maybe the outside coming in at one point later in the race and then the inside starting off well. I like that. But I don't need it at Phoenix, to be honest. Phoenix is a bad track in general. The only really good races were when we had 950 horsepower in the things, and those were fine races. They weren't exceptional. Kevin Harvick didn't help because he was putting on a clinic,
Harvick and Phoenix,
but there were some
you weren't beating.
There were some good races, and as I said earlier, it was just mainly drama based, with it being a pretty important race late in the playoffs.
Didn't they have a really good finish one year back in 2016 when Harvick won at the line against Edwards?
Edwards, yep.
Yes.
That was a good finish.
But, you don't see that very much there.
Not there, at least.
So, it's and the car is bad, objectively.
It's awful.
I don't think ground effect racing works on short tracks with the downforce being generated under the car.
Nope.
To me, you lower the ride heights, you let less dirty air come from under the car. I think that causes less disruption at a short track where you're not going as fast. And also, whatever they're doing with the aero is not changing the car.
No.
The race looks. If you didn't tell me there was a different package, would you guys have had any idea? So, whatever they're doing, it's not going to work. It's not working. Chase said it really well. This car has a general driving style. It has a general feel to it. No matter what you change with the car, and no matter what you change with the tires, it's still the same car with 4 wheels. And it's going to keep driving the same. Chase didn't even know there was a new tire. I think that might be a bad thing on his team. They didn't tell him. I don't know if he was joking to make it sound like the tire didn't do anything, which it didn't. It made it worse. And they said, wow, look, Bell's on 50-lap older tires than Truex and ran 6/10 slower. Okay. Sure. Yeah, that's good. But Truex was pulling away on 30-lap old tires compared to the field. Guys on 4 tires couldn't do anything. To me, Ty Gibbs made up more ground than anybody else on 2 tires. That shouldn't be possible.
No, it shouldn't be.
A track like Richmond, they've got it figured out there with the tire. Darlington, I think, is a good track with the tire. To me, Richmond is a good track because it has maybe inverted strategies. Oh, do you want to run long and get that last stop, or do you want to take an extra stop? And there's a considerable amount of wear. But I don't know with this car if there's things that guys can do to preserve tire wear. I think it's all the same for everybody. So the fall off is less in their hands, I guess, with having more grip, maybe. It has a natural fall off to it. I don't know if you guys want to give your opinions on the car and where you think it goes wrong. Go ahead. I've gone at length here. I was planning on ranting, and there it is.
There's your rant.
I hate it.
No, go ahead. I was about to say we have all the same opinion. I believe.
I do think this car is not very good. I mean, there's tracks where it shows where it's okay at, but overall, this car is just not good at all. And you mentioned Chase's interview. Besides, the only person that made any ground on 4 tires at Phoenix was the strongest car in the field. That's it.
By a lot. He was the strongest by a lot, too.
And it wasn't even close. Adam Stevens in the 20 team had that car on wheels. And NASCAR, they're going to run it because they put too much in investing on it. Yeah. But they did a horrible job, and it needs to change now. And they're going to realize that the NASCAR fans that they need to keep, not only that, bring in some new casual viewers, they're going to have to change this car, and they're going to need to change it fast.
If you were a new fan that tuned in at Daytona or Atlanta and you saw this,
you turned it off.
You're out. You're out.
Click.
Yeah, you're out. I mean, this is shit. This is really bad. The car is what makes this race suck more. That's that Jones boy who I saw his hand actually just pop up on the screen. I don't know if he's back or not here. Is he?
No.
Is he readjusting?
I'm just waiting for words to come across the screen. We will be right back.
Yeah,
right. A
right.
little background elevator music.
What was I saying about the car compared to the track?
It was I think this package was awful too.
I think the track is just generally bad.
The track is bad, but the car and the package
is so much worse.
I agree. Yeah. But does a new car fix Phoenix?
I think
a new package might, but
I don't think it fixes.
No.
I don't think it fixes Phoenix, but when you already have a bad track and you have a car that's not kind of next level, it's only going to make the track look that worse.
That's exactly. Yep. I totally agree.
But can we all agree the track sucks regardless?
Oh, the track is.
Oh, trucks. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the best thing is bring in Honda. Let's soup up the Odysseys. Let's get it going. That's going to be the only thing that can make this race exciting.
Actually, me and Tegan would argue that this track was the best because we were both Harvick fans. Once I became a Harvick fan, once Stewart kind of retired.
I mean, Blaney seems to like the track, and it won him a championship. It won him a championship last year. So I mean,
this is a really good point right here.
Yeah.
The repave, yeah, that makes a difference for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The dog leg, I don't care about. I don't like it.
It was only good because there was grass down on the apron, but then they took it out because they were afraid that cars were going to turn down there and they were going to flip the way the car catches the mud and all that. I understand that, but I agree with you, Mike. Man, the dog leg,
Put a wall.
yeah, like Pocono, like do
Make it a
like
road
that.
course.
You're stupid.
Okay, Mike.
Room. Can we break it anymore? Boy saying they took it out to get restarts. Nothing to do with safety, he says. And the restarts, they're stupid. I don't care. It goes,
Move the line back. Move the line back. For the
right
love
there.
of Christ, move the line back.
This guy, listen to him.
That. They moved all the grandstands to where the line is now. They're not going to move them back.
Because NASCAR's stupid. They don't listen to their fans. They do whatever it takes to just get a little bit of clicks because of a fucking restart.
Everybody, if you ask a NASCAR fan, are you happy with the horsepower?
Hell no.
90% are going to say no, but they don't listen. You ask people in the industry, do you think we should have more horsepower? I bet 90% would say, yes, we do, but they don't listen. They're tone deaf. What's got to happen is television has to, Fox, NBC, they've got to go to NASCAR and say, we need more horsepower. This is a problem. Our racing is being hurt because you are making these Mickey Mouse fucking GT3 IMSA cars, you know, that have less horsepower than Tegan's Camaro. I mean, it's stupid.
Wow.
That toy Camaro probably has more fucking horsepower than what we would like to see in NASCAR.
That thing's got 750 horsepower right there.
But like seriously, like, go ahead, Kevin.
I was going to say Kevin Harvick mentioned several years ago that because they took the horsepower out of the race cars, you could drive it in so much deeper into the corners than you used to. Back when they had more horsepower and you had more speed to carry in the corners, you had to lift off a little bit earlier and you had to drive the car a lot more that way. Now that you can just pretty much drive in until you almost get into the transition turns 3 and 4, nobody's able to pass you that way.
Like, when NASCAR had the 950, especially in 2014, that was some of the best racing we've seen. I mean, Harvick was really good. Gordon in that package was phenomenal. There were so many drivers that were so good in that package, and the way those cars drove was just phenomenal. And the packages were also very good too, but just how the car was built. And it was a great time to be a NASCAR fan. I mean, the ratings had to have been really good that year. Probably the best we've seen in a while.
I hate to tell you.
No.
We were in the middle of the attendance and ratings downturn. And but I don't blame that on the product. I blame that on NASCAR hit a peak that they weren't going to be able to keep.
Right.
The audience was there for a short period. It's like wrestling, Could you argue the ruthless aggression era was better than the attitude era? I would say yes. Objectively, the wrestling and maybe some of the segments were better because the attitude era had a lot of dog shit in it. Not gonna lie. As much as we like the highs of it, the highs were highs, the lows were also really low. But the highs really attracted an audience, and it wasn't a sustainable audience. And what came after it might have been better quality, but it wasn't exactly what that audience was going to tune out no matter what. People have short spans, They go, oh, I was a wrestling fan. I was a NASCAR fan. I liked this show. They tune out a lot of the time. People like something new,
And that's the kind of tricky slope that NASCAR is on right now. Is you keep on putting out a product. There's the word I was looking for. You keep putting out a product like you did last week at Phoenix. You're going to get people going away to where if you come up with something new that's better, those people aren't going to want to come back because their brain's already going to be just focused on what it was when they invested so much into it.
Insanity is the definition of repeating something and thinking you're going to get a different result out of it. That right there is literally NASCAR insanity right there.
Yep. Oh, yeah. 90s to mid-2000s NASCAR was really good.
No doubt. I got to say one thing. 2014, we talk about it, we revere it so much, and rightfully so. It was a good year, a lot of fun. I think I know why we got rid of the horsepower, though. I hate to say it. Toyota. Do you know how many races they won in 2014?
Oh God, they didn't win very many, did they?
Take a guess. Somebody guess.
0.
Wait, Toyota
No,
in
because
20
Bush
no,
won
not
that
zero.
year. Bush had
Four?
won that year.
I was
No,
going
not
to
four.
say I was going to say 5, but
Twice.
Yeah, Bush once and Hamlin once.
only twice.
Kyle Busch won Fontana, I believe, and Talladega was
Hamlin.
won by Denny Hamlin.
God, how did I miss that?
Yeah, the
950.
Toyota was really bad.
It was gone next
Yeah.
year.
And what happened to Toyota? They got better.
You look at 2016 to 2019. Who was the dominant
So-
manufacturer?
Toyota.
So let's downgrade the product of racing to benefit a manufacturer. That makes no sense to me.
You know,
I mean,
who
it
took,
doesn't
you know who
make-
took the
About
biggest hit?
leveling the playing
I
field.
was going to say it doesn't make sense to us as fans, but if I were to put on like my NASCAR president hat for a minute, it would make a whole lot of sense. Like you want your you want your manufacturers to
you
be
can't lose
as even as
Toyota.
possible. Yeah.
Well, but you know what's funny? You know who took a little bit of a hit because of the downgraded package? Been told they brought the Camaros out and then they got used to the package. Chevy. As soon as, because in 16 was last year, Stuart Haas was with Chevy. They left for Ford and got extremely good, like even better than they were beforehand. And Chevy went on their downturn.
Yeah, but I would also argue Hendrick was rebuilding at that point.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Because you
I
got
think the
Jimmy
car-
Young's fall off. Dale Jr. was clearly not Dale Jr. He was having his concussions. Casey Kane was washed. And then you get
2014
Chase,
Junior
who
though.
Chase arguably could have won 5 or 6 races in his first 2 years combined, maybe even a couple more than that. And so he was strong, just couldn't get it done until 2018. But he had Byron come in 18 and Bowman. So I think it was just a rebuilding time for them, you know, after Gordon retiring and Jimmy Johnson kind of starting to have a downturn in performance, Dale Jr.'s concussions. And Casey Kane was kind of just level. I mean, he had concussions too, you know?
Well,
so.
Jimmy Johnson's downturn started happening after his Pocono wreck.
You can correlate that, yeah.
yeah,
I don't know if that's necessarily the cause of it, but you can correlate that being where it changed, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're ranting a lot about stuff that's not going to change probably.
Nope.
And it's really frustrating because Denny Hamlin said, "How quickly could you change the horsepower?" He said, "Next week."
Wow. And we're not like we're just asking
NASCAR,
to make it
they could
better.
have it at 750 next week.
Well, and Tegan hit it on last night's race in our league. Was it's going to take every guy and every team to tell NASCAR, we're going to run this horsepower. What are you going to do? Ban all of us from racing? Then
Right.
you have no
Screw
race.
you. Screw you.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Tegan said. And
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
mean- I mean,
And Tegan saying this right here, this is when fans need to be back in his ass and quit ragging on him. Denny has, I think, since he's had his podcast, has been a really positive
like,
person
Yeah.
for NASCAR.
here's the
Because
thing.
he's willing to speak out, he's willing to give his opinion, and he's not afraid of it. It's called actions detrimental for a reason. He's gotten fined for it quite a bit, but he keeps giving his opinion. I like it.
He doesn't care. At least he doesn't care about getting fined. I mean, I'm not a fan of Denny as a driver, but at least he's speaking out as a driver saying, we could switch this next week and actually speaking out against it. So I'll back him there. It's just the horsepower, the packages that they got are awful. It's terrible. The car, packages, horsepower, terrible.
There's nothing they can do with the package to fix this.
No.
Yeah, it's not the package; it's the car.
They've tried everything.
And yet NASCAR still sits with their thumb up their
Different
ass.
spoilers. They've done different splitters. They've taken off the diffuser. The only thing they haven't changed is the fucking engine.
And what's the problem? The fucking
Same
engine.
thing, over and over again. But we're
Yeah.
not going to change the one thing we haven't changed. Does it make sense? Let's put a new tire on. Let's put fucking bamboo tires on. Let's put a fucking plastic straw spoiler.
Like, come the
I feel
fuck
like
on.
this is where Tegan should be the one ranting, just the way Mike Man is. I'm just saying.
Oh, I
this
bet
is-
he is raging.
Here, so I'm taking over.
Hey,
Mike cutting a promo here. Hell yeah.
Man,
But
it's
think of
so
it-
annoying.
But think of it this way: Daniel Suarez won this season, so hey,
That's Sal's goal. We won
I-
your
Right.
package.
I
That's
know,
all
but
that
we all
matters.
love Sal.
That's all-
Hey, my amigo Sal, how are you doing? This is your friend Daniel Suarez here. First of all, I want to say big happy birthday.
Yeah, unfortunately, we were doing our post race inspections, which
Um,
What was that second one?
yeah. What's up with that?
it was whenever I thought I was really cool for our first podcast, and I put this clip of the NASCAR guy talking about why Denny and Kyle Busch got disqualified at Pocono.
Who ended up winning? Was that when Chase won that race? Or
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Can we have that
From
again?
third.
Please? Thank you. See, Tegan says we agree. And come back, bitch. Come back. Come home. This screen sucks.
I just think we need to leave it on this.
We just need to
screen
run
for-
that. We need to
Yeah.
run that Camaro
Yeah.
right there. That Camaro right there needs to be run in NASCAR.
Oh, he's
It'd
got the
be-
Michigan doubleheader little diecast thing right there. That's pretty cool.
Something
He's got
that
a
he runs way
Camaro.
too often in league races.
Oh, he's back.
What?
He's back.
Oh,
We
Oh
have
my
movement.
God. Look-
we had movement.
Yeah. Where? What?
Uh,
What? What?
nope.
No.
We got
Guessing not. No.
Well, there was movement. I mean, that's his Phoenix win car. Fucking dog shit track, dog shit race. Ryan Newman's fat.
Oh, Mike was never going to let this down.
By the way, Mike,
Oh,
that
my
is
God.
a massive what if 2014 championship right there.
Don't do that to me today, dude. Don't do that.
Oh, more movement. More movement.
There he
Hey!
is.
There he is.
Oh, what the fuck?
Is that for real? Did he just do
my
that?
God.
Do that to us? What the hell is that all about?
Sal was about to pull his shirt up, and then Tegan had to take
Give me
himself off
1
the video
second.
again.
Oh,
He's
geez.
putting his pants on.
Yes.
Oh my
Get
goodness.
back in the basement.
Oh, that's really good. That's good. I like that.
Stinky bottom.
Oh man.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey,
There we
welcome
go.
back.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
I was listening.
So, yeah.
I wasn't watching, but
Yeah, I ranted a little bit. Whoops.
I heard.
Then everyone else got involved.
Was I wrong?
You-
Was I wrong?
No, you wasn't wrong. But I don't want to blame it on Phoenix. Not all of it's Phoenix. Majority of it's the car. I gotta go find my water. Hang on.
Harris tried to run for it. Yeah, it sounded like he was yelling at him to get back down in the basement. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Hey, Ryan, you're going. Take 5.
There he is.
Hey, Wessel,
Hello.
you're outside.
I'm outside.
All right. Let's do our picks real quick. Well, we have Wessel here. Nope, I didn't. do
There's
the right
that
thing.
mate.
Oh yeah, we got a little smoke break.
Yeah.
Is there any way I can? Oh, hold on. No, I have to
Ain't
upgrade if I
Kroger
want
a
to add a
tobacco-free
7th.
campus?
Ooh.
Huh? The hell
Yes,
did you
Kroger
say?
management. I'd like to report a David Wessel for smoking.
I fucking am Kroger management, bub.
Okay.
Calm down, Steve O'Donnell.
Yeah. Right. So let's start here. The winner again is Matt.
Yes, sir. Death taxi
now
on
got
me
it.
winning.
Snuck by me on the last lap.
This dude's got to be like cheating.
It's nuts.
I think this dude's got an 8-ball.
It's absolutely insane. Picking first this week is the winless Sal. Sally, hit me.
Chris Buescher.
Okay, Chris Buescher.
Well, that
That's a
was
good
one
pick.
of my picks.
That was a good pick.
It was a good pick.
I do not have JB's pick yet. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we do not have JB yet, so we'll wait on that. Bradley is typing his picks to me right now, I believe. Chris Buescher's off the board already, and so he's going to go with Carson Hocevar.
Another good pick. He's had one race here, and I believe he finished sixth last
Baltimore
year.
did really
Something like
good
that.
here last year, or
Yeah.
in the fall.
That's a great point. Yeah, he ended up 11th, but he ran pretty well. Tegan will be next. Who you got, Mr. Jones?
I think I'm going to take. I just don't. I'm going to take Brad K. I think the Ford are going to be good because this is not the new short track package.
Brad K. I'm going to go with a guy that did very well last year here. Also, the year before had tire issues both times. I'm going to go with this week's winner, Christopher Bell. Next up is Kev Ryan. So Wessel will be out of here for a second. We'll bring Ryan back in to talk about these two. Talk it over, fellas.
Well, it's going to be super quick because I'm going to let Ryan pick. If it was up to me, I would love to pick Noah Gragson, but you've been picking so good, Ryan. I trust you.
I actually agree with you on Gregson.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
look at
He's
that.
been solid. I'll take a shot on Gregson.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Wessel, he's gone. I don't know his picks. He's disappeared off the screen now.
Rip.
Take
I can
Ryan.
add him
Take
back.
Ryan off.
No.
Ryan.
I'll take Sal. Bye. Hey, Wessel, who do you pick?
I've seen a lot of swings here. I know we have Coda coming up next week, and there's probably a favorite for that race already. So I'm going for the first pick next week. Give me BJ McLeod.
He did last year for Phoenix.
He's not
That's
racing.
pretty good.
Oh, McLeod's not racing. Rip.
I don't believe he's in the
JJ Racing.
Who's in the
I'll give you
15?
the 15 car.
Whoever is in the 15. I'll take that.
Got it. The 15 car. Maddie.
I'm going to go with the person who I said earlier in my two dude segment has a really good chance of winning this race. I'll go with Ty Gibbs.
Okay. It's a good pick. It's a good pick. We'll wait on JB's. We'll get his
If he
later.
wins again, I'm quitting.
You too.
Matt? Yeah, we've got to stop him. We've got to stop that guy. All right, Wessel. Thank you for hopping in. I'm going to add Sal back in. I appreciate you jumping in.
Looks like it's
for
Gralla.
for
It's in
this
the
episode.
15.
Have a good one, Wes.
See you, Wessel.
Kaz Gralla in the 15.
Welcome back, Sally.
Yeah,
you look good.
Gaz Gralla in the
Thank you.
15.
That's an odd pick.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's running most of the races, I think. So,
Yeah, but going from a Chevy to a Ford, though, it's kind of weird.
nah,
be a free
who
agent.
cares? He doesn't know anything. All right. I think that's really kind of everything to cover. Not really much more. Let me look at the ticker to see if we missed anything.
Xfinity
Talk about
race
the end of the Xfinity race, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
heartbreaker for Mr. Justin Allgaier. Hated that for him. Had it in the
I'd love
bag.
to see it.
Oh, you don't like Justin Allgaier? We have a lot of Allgaier fans in our little group here, so that won't be popular. But yeah, it was unfortunate.
Well, I said it.
You like Chandler Smith, though? I mean, good for him, I guess. Big win. Definitely been outperforming Sheldon Creed big time.
I think we already touched on this, talking about the Toyotas being a dominant force for the rest of the season. I don't see that, but I do see them having the edge over all the other manufacturers for the short tracks.
At Phoenix, definitely.
Definitely Phoenix, but
As we
Martinsville,
said,
Richmond. I could
you
see
pulled
that.
up a great stat about Todd Gillen being the only non-Toyota lead laps. That's Chevy and Ford should be scared about letting a Toyota make the championship race, especially Christopher Bell.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got to do whatever you can in the playoffs to keep those. I think.
Oh, we said this last year. Like we literally said this last 2 years about Ford, and they'll make it to Phoenix and they win the championship. They go out there and really like with Joey and Ron Blaney, and they stink it up. I mean, Blaney didn't stink it up, but he did have the best car out of the four. So I think
but everybody
kind of holds
I was
their
the only
shit
one in our
close to
group
their
that didn't
to their
pick Blaney
chest.
though.
Yeah, but I mean, that's because you wasn't seeing right. But it just seemed like Ford kind of holds their shit to the last. They kind of sandbag. They don't want to get caught with whatever they're doing early and have to give it up. So
And the only Chevrolet
Oh my
that
God.
finished in the top 10 was Ross Chastain, and he only got that because of track position.
Yeah.
Right. He wasn't one of
Chevys
the
were
Chevys running there.
bad.
I wouldn't say that. They just weren't able to pass. They weren't bad.
No.
'Cause
Yeah, well,
Byron and Elliott ran
that
top 5.
I was going to say that whole.
Bowman kind of worked his way up to around 12 at one
these
point.
cars are so even that this was a track position race.
Yeah, when you flip flopped it,
If
because you
they're
had
even at a track where it's hard to pass in the first place,
Mhm.
you know, with the cars they have, it's going to hurt.
Because early, like Chastain was good. You had, and then you had HMS was really good. And then when that caution came out and flip flopped the whole entire field, you kind of got.
To be honest, these tires do not give out quick enough. That's what this tire needs to do. These tires need to be a little bit softer.
They keep doing that though, and it keeps not working. The tires are too wide.
Right.
I don't think the tire compound is the problem. I think the width of the tire is the problem. Whose bright idea was it to make a wider tire?
We are not getting away from that. It's cheaper to give us more horsepower than to change the tire.
So listen to this. I read an interesting thing on Twitter. Matt Weaver, who's really good in the know on stuff, he tweeted out something to the effect of Goodyear, all these single source suppliers contracts for this next gen car are set to be renewed at the end of the year. And they can negotiate different parameters for stuff if NASCAR chooses. They had the contracts to make whatever they were making from 2022 to the end of 2024. But to me, and that includes Goodyear, since they're considered a single source supplier. So if they want to make a change, the opportunity's there.
Hoosier, we're not going to have another Hoosier Goodyear.
No, I'm not saying Hoosier. I'm just saying that they can renegotiate with Goodyear for them, you know. Because to me, a wider tire, maybe at certain tracks, it works fine. But I don't like a wider tire. Why would we have done that? What? Why? More grip? What the fuck? I mean, the France family, Jim France, his old ass, is obsessed with grip racing. We don't want grip. We want cars sliding around. We want fast cars that are hard to handle, not slow cars that are easy to handle.
Cars that are hard to handle, but not cars like we had. Like at Phoenix, seemed like we had a lot of issues in the Cup race where they hit that yellow paint.
Yeah,
they were gone.
Yeah,
and it was only a few times, and I think that's what actually cut Justin Allgaier's tire in the Xfinity race because he got down on that apron, and when you saw him transition back up, you saw his back end kind of pop, and that's the tire going down. So I don't know if there's something on the paint this weekend, like those
debris
or something, but it seemed like I saw Kyle Busch do it. There was somebody else,
Derek Krause,
Perry in qualifying.
Krause hit that line and that transition, and that car was gone. So I don't want to see that's not good racing. That is Mark Martin's the fucker that gets on Twitter every week. Oh, that's what I like to see. Why? That does not help the racing. They wasn't racing when they fucking wrecked. He was running fucking 35th. Are you excited about a fucking back marker wrecking on their own? You fucking old bag, four-eyed, wrinkly ass, short pecker bag eating
Come
bitch.
on, man.
I mean,
damn.
Mark Martin always bitched about these cars, and then he gets out of the sport and he thinks everything's just fucking awesome. Then he needs to get in these motherfuckers, a little short, little wrinkly ass, and see if he can handle it. These cars are not meant to spin out in 35th. They're meant to spin out like Denny Hamlin did, racing for the fucking lead. That's a fucking, a car that needs, that's good handling or bad handling, not somebody running 35th and hits a little fucking crack on the damn racetrack and decides to spin. That's not a good car.
At this point,
it's a shit car.
At this point, we should let the Saudis.
Yep.
Let them what?
Saudis. Fuck it. Why not? Nobody cares about human rights anymore. Nobody cares about 9/11. Nobody cares about any of that shit. But we want money, right? fucking Live Golf, right? WWE, right? Saudis.
They've got Ronaldo.
I don't like the Saudis.
They've got Ronaldo.
I
They've
don't
got
think NASCAR does that. They've got too much of a redneck fan base still.
they got all the
them damn Saudis.
they got all the money in the world.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's all jokes. I mean, I think the
Yeah,
Saudis are a
yeah.
disgusting country and are just trying to culture wash. And I would not be surprised if they buy NASCAR at some point or something to that effect.
So when we don't have this
they have so
podcast
much
anymore,
money.
when we don't have this podcast anymore because everybody found where we live within a week, you'll know
You'll know why.
It's
I'm
when
ready
I'm
for
going to
that
wish
knock
that I
on
had
my
not
door.
gotten back on the pod and just stayed in the background
I'll
playing with my
fuck
camera.
Saudi Arabia.
All right, I'm down. Where's my exit button at? Damn it. Why? I've got
My IP
access to
address is
YouTube
already
TV.
hacked.
I'm going to erase every fucking thing.
Oh man, all jokes. But yeah, no,
We kid because we care.
I don't understand what we're doing, and I don't think NASCAR's ever going to sell. Joke about the Saudis
I
because they
really
buy
don't
everything.
think
It
we
seems like
want
now.
them to be honest, because I don't think somebody buying it's going to help, and I don't think it's going to.
Yeah, I literally do
direction
think I do think it's literally as easy as
the horsepower.
upping the horsepower and maybe making a
It
little
would
bit
mask a lot of shit.
less wide tire. Yeah, I feel like it's literally as easy as that. NASCAR is just too stubborn. They know, and this is also the thing where I say that I know I've used on a few podcasts last year is the analogy with that dude who makes the really bad NFL mock drafts. You want your name to get out there. NASCAR is having their name. There you go. Thank you, Ryan Wilson. So I think it's kind of to that aspect as where NASCAR's not changing it because if they don't change it, it's going to get people to talk about it like us. And it's going to get people like Denny and all these other drivers to talk about how bad it is and how much they need change.
Wait, no, take the hat off. Take the hat off. No.
Fuck you, Wessel! Shitting on my hair looks good. All right.
That's hat hair right there.
That's hat hair. Yep, it's been on long enough.
The hat combed itself.
Tegan likes it.
We don't know what Ron's hat hair looks like. He's always in the dark.
Yeah, dude, turn on a fucking light, you dumb fuck.
Nah.
I'm outside in the dark and I got a porch light on. Come on.
Look,
man.
I added a white light to my shit because I feel like I was always in the dark.
Yeah, that looks awesome. Sal looks great, by the way. I love blue might be your color, dog.
Is it cold in Texas?
No, I just had to throw a shirt on, and it was the
I
first
did that earlier. That's the first thing it grabbed. I did that
I mean, I'm
earlier.
wearing I'm wearing a white T-shirt right now, so we're all kind of on the same vibe tonight. Anything else we need to talk about? We had a fucking race at Chicagoland last night, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh my goodness. It's just annoying because that's the second week in a row where I obviously wouldn't be able to challenge for the win, but it's the second week in a row where I've come off pit road and caution. So next week I'm just not pitting. I'm not pitting at all.
I drove like a fucking madman after that.
I'm just gonna rather run out of gas.
Well, next week it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
I genuinely think our last 4 natural yellows I've been on pit road for.
Richmond, Chicago,
Atlanta twice.
Atlanta twice.
Yeah. So
that's true. In Atlanta, I was in the pits. I was in the pits too. That's true for one of them.
Yeah, I mean it was a wild one. We tried our best to do what we could. It was just a very tough situation we had last night. We resolved it as best as we could. Tegan and I, had our little disagreement after, but it all worked out.
I just wish that I took no tires. I should have taken that chance.
That was your win. That was you to win if you done.
I was aggressive on pit
I
entry.
don't think so.
I sped it. I basically was 50. I was 5 mile an hour over, and they didn't call me for speeding.
Tegan only gained about a second on the pit road and won by about 2.4 seconds. So
it's now on to the
pretty inevitable. He was going to win anyway.
Now we're on to the Empire State and the good old Finger Lakes region.
How about it, Maddie? Home race for us.
Yeah, that'll be fun. It's too bad I am not very good at road courses, so I won't be. But this one, I'm actually not terrible at. So I do feel like I can get a top 10 here.
Easiest ones. So.
Yeah, I do feel like I can get a top 10 here.
I'm going to present the master screen right now of our sheets here. We have a really fun cut line battle going on right now.
Yeah.
You're on the right one. Not that one.
Here we go.
Oh.
I can't zoom. View. No, this is the zoom. Okay. Take a look at this, right? We've got Tegan and I out front, and there's a gap to Bradley and JB, who has another gap to Ryan and Kamal, who has another gap to the guys kind of in the playoff hunt right now. Kevron is 7th in the standings, which in previous years is really good shape to be in right now. He's only up 18. You've got Incog in 8th, only up 9. Wessel in 9th, only up 3. And Mindkiller in 10th, only up 2. And you've got 11th, James, -2. Harris in 12th had a big performance to get back up there.
Been coming back up here through here lately, yes.
Yeah. And you got Maddie there in 13th, only down 4. S'mores down 16 there in 14th. And then you've got a different battle where it's Spencer trying to get into that top 15 to make his win count for playoff eligibility. Anybody involved in the playoff battle right now here, if they want to talk about it? Tegan, if you want to say anything, go ahead. But I think we've got a really compelling battle here early on.
Yeah, I just hope we don't fart on it, because we did this last year, and we got with like the last race, and then we kind of knew going in that who was going to be in and who was going to be out. And this year's Daytona, so that's our cutoff race.
It is really interesting, the whole playoff battle. My whole mindset is, I think the first week of April is a doubleheader that involves a road course the second week, and the second race, and then after that is like Kansas, Talladega, Mid Ohio, and then Loudon. So I feel like if I can, my whole thing is going to be just trying to survive the next few weeks. If I can somehow get back end top 10s.
Ain't you a Loudon merchant?
So if I can get,
he is a Loudon merchant.
If I can get the next few weeks to like back end top 10s, and then that stretch where it's Kansas, Talladega, the road course, and then Loudon on that doubleheader, I feel like I'm going to be in a good spot. But I'm just going to have to not try to shit the bed here the next 2 or 3 weeks. That's going to be my whole mindset.
Kevron, how you feeling? I mean, your team almost lost funding earlier this year with a slow start. But rebounding to be 7th in points, how you feeling only up 18 right now?
Man, well, 4 races ago, we were down by 15. So,
right.
Yeah, definitely.
We've had some good results.
Yeah, definitely had a good swift kick in the butt to get those results. Feeling pretty good about it. Hey, JC's gone, man. He's had disappointing races back to back, but yeah, I mean, we're still in it, man. We're just clicking along one race at a time, and Watkins Glen is one of my favorite tracks. So there we go.
Absolutely. Any other opinions from y'all?
Wait, where's Sal at?
Sal is 16th, -69. Nice.
All right, I'm going to push you to the win at Talladega and get you in the top 15, Sal. Let's go. You'll be my teammate, too.
Man. We need that, right? That'd be fun.
Yes, sir.
I'd love to see Sal make the playoffs. He's got to show up, though. This guy went home. He ran away. Had a good stretch going. You could be the difference in keeping Spencer out of the playoffs.
We're going to try our best not to do that, but I just don't know what it's been like. I just can't seem to figure anything out.
Well, you've had
unfortunate luck, issues, and some unfortunate luck.
I genuinely felt if I could have started off the season right at Daytona, it would have been I think I'm sitting in a whole different spot, because I think that would have just built up confidence for the season. But then out of nowhere, and it's only whenever like I play that.
Yeah.
And
right.
on Sundays, like I can practice and I think I'm fine with y'all. And then come race time, I just can't.
Well, like I said last night, everybody in this has improved dramatically. Like I improved on my qualifying time myself, a half second from last year. And last year, there were only 4 people who ran sub 30.6s in qualifying. This year, there was 9, myself included. That's wild. I improved myself a half second and started 5 spots back from where I started last year with like almost the same amount of people racing.
Yeah.
What in the world's going on here?
It's really how this. I mean, everyone's gotten used to the game. It's a however many year old game.
4
but
years, yeah.
So everyone's about as even as ever, and still somehow Tegan continues to win.
I'm trying, man.
I tried. I gave it everything I had at Chicago.
It's just
You
minimizing
gave it
the
all into the
mistakes.
apron.
He's so good at it.
Yeah, Ryan gave it all into the apron. I hate to say it, Ryan. I was glad he lost.
He's not telling the truth. He'd rather have you win than me. Trust me.
Yeah, I know.
I wish there could have been like an explosion.
Hey.
Not to hurt you guys, but just to hurt
was-
your cars. Like a Kamal like explosion wherever he just lags out with 3 to go, and
that's how they're gonna say goodbye to the servers on here. Everyone's gonna be doing a normal race, and then all of a sudden it's just gonna blow up.
I think they're waiting on us to get to our last race, and they're about to shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down.
We've got Bradley Boyce here.
Wow.
Maybe it's his
Boyce
turn to
Jr.
win. Maybe it's his turn to win.
I'm not.
I know yesterday was also the first race of that little deal. Was it a success or?
Nope. Happy birthday, Spencer.
Happy birthday, Spencer.
Happy birthday, Spencer.
Happy birthday,
failed.
Spencer.
He failed. He could have just muted his microphone, but nope. He started throwing it. I'm going,
Don't mute it, Spencer. You just keep being your wonderful, loving fucking self. Fuck them all, and happy birthday.
That's the way to end it, folks.
All righty.
Appreciate y'all tuning in. All love here. I'll show my hair for the end of the stream.
Yeah.
I think it got worse.
It's not that bad right now, actually.
This is for Matt right there. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, thank you. Wrong side.
Hey, next week if we have 6 people, we do like the little Brady Bunch little intro.
Right? Like, can I be the Alice?
We need more boxes.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you all next week.